The Bakshi family, with their weakness for modern technology, lives in their home in the hills. You have just seen it, like it was 100 years ago. In parts of India, that is just changing. Naturally, there is a lot of poverty in India still, in all parts of the country. But in the past few years, a group of around 30 to 50 million people have established themselves who have become very prosperous and wealthy. And what better place to show this off but within the four walls of your home. In our next story, we would like to introduce you to a woman who has created these wonderful surroundings. An interesting mix of Indian tradition and modern art. The wood, noble mahogany. Every single piece is unique and, of course, polished by hand. This classic and timeless furniture will ultimately find its final resting place at the Solanki home. The lady who lends her carpenter a hand during the final stages is Sunita Kohli. She belongs to a small circle of Indian architects and designers who are gaining international awards as well as a respect and acknowledgement of their clients well beyond the borders of the subcontinent. It took her 1 year to do this house in keeping with her clients' taste, from the colors, marble floors, pictures, sculptures to, last but not least, the furniture.
I think I was very lucky. I was very lucky to get Sunita Kohli to do this place. When she told me about all the things and all this furniture she does in her own workshop, and when I saw the pictures of this furniture and everything and her ideas, I think it's the best thing that has happened to this house.
No, not at all.
During her long drives through the megacity New Delhi, Sunita Kohli likes working in her car. Thanks to a chauffeur who she can afford for about 100 euros a month, she coordinates her various projects from here. The daughter of an old Indian family, she is busy adding the finishing touches to her lecture, which she will deliver at Harvard University in September. Often, the 56-year-old works on different projects simultaneously.
In design work, you conceptualize and you think of where you're going to go and what is the milieu and what is the clientele for which you're working towards. I enjoy working both as a designer and as a restorer, as an architectural restorer, and I find both very fulfilling.
After an hour's drive, far out in Delhi's industrial suburb, Okhla. What in Germany would cost one a fortune is manufactured here at affordable prices. All handmade furniture, every piece specially commissioned. Labor is cheap, so in India, the skill, for example, of an experienced carpenter very highly. But Sunita Kohli is an exception. Every worker is personally trained by her, owns a house, and his health insurance is paid by the boss. The factory here in Okhla is only one of 5 workshops. That one a bit finer, please. The grooves a bit deeper. Yes, says the master, I have to be careful that the plane doesn't slip. The wood is very soft. Do you make your own furniture? We ask Sujit the carpenter. No, he says, I can't afford that. Do you know who you are producing this furniture for? They are for rich people. And he smiles. But the rich people cannot imagine that this piece of wood can be transformed into a splendid cupboard, a writing desk or a noble sofa. And all this embedded in a design of a unique brand. The result is a world of interiors, which win accolades not only in India, but also in New York, Milan, London, in Cairo or Dubai. The trademark of the interior designer is her unique adaptation of art, history and religions of the big cultures, without losing her own Indian identity. Otherwise, the confirmed Hindu is open to all kinds of influences, but it must have style, quality and the stamp of individuality. And it has to suit the people who want to live with it. Sunita Kohli has a combined office together with her son Surivia and daughter Kohelika. They share employees and technology, but everyone has their own company. Sunita alone owns 5 companies divided into different branches like architecture, design and furniture.
Ms. Kohli, you don't use the computer, don't you? You don't use the computer.
No, I don't use the computer at all. I've always sketched by hand.
You don't like it, or you don't want to learn it, or what's the reason?
I think I don't have the intelligence to learn it. And I even write manuscripts by hand. But I hope that in the next 6 months I hope to be able to change that.
The job of son Surivia is to procure antique and unique designer furniture. The 29-year-old is well acquainted with the European and American markets. He has just brought back the latest catalogues from his trip to Italy.
Then for the appointment next week,
The austere style fits Sunita Kohli's new project perfectly. A luxury project where money plays a secondary role, but the optimal effects is what counts. The client, a wife of a steel magnate, is satisfied. Sunita's designs match her taste and is the perfect foil for her valuable art collection.
The architecture was so contemporary. I would have gone the contemporary way, maybe, completely contemporary. But then being with her, being associated with her, she, told me that, if you go completely the contemporary way, then, what you want to project, like to be an Indian, in your Indianness will not come through.
In her own home in New Delhi, Sunita Kohli loves the old, the classical India. Of course, the Raj had an influence on the Indian style. And Sunita is proud of having designed such popular buildings like the former British Palace of the Viceroy of India, the Rashtrapati Bhawan, or the Prime Minister's residence today. But it is the diversity of the Indian culture that is her main source of inspiration.
Changes in the last century, the way they have happened so rapidly all over the world that the last 1,000 years has not seen those sort of changes. And of course, India is also part of that change that is happening all over. But I think that we've got many more things which will keep us rooted. And I pray that that continues to happen, because I think therein lies really the greatness of India.